It all started on a rainy Thursday afternoon in New York City. Evelyn Hart, the youngest female CEO of Hartwell Industries, sat in her penthouse kitchen with a puddle spreading across her marble floor. She was supposed to be preparing for the biggest night of her career, the annual gala where every investor, journalist, and rival would be watching. But instead, she was kneeling on the floor with a pile of soggy paper towels and a broken sink pipe that wouldn't stop spraying. Her assistant, desperate to help, had called the only available handyman in the area, Daniel Reed. When the doorbell rang, Evelyn expected someone older, maybe rough around the edges. But standing there was a man in his mid-30s, tall, broad-shouldered, wearing faded jeans and a flannel shirt. His hair was slightly messy, his hands rough from work, but his eyes were kind. And beside him, clutching a small toolbox of her own, was a little girl, maybe 7, wearing a pink raincoat and mismatched socks. "Sorry about the little helper," Daniel said, embarrassed. "It's her day off school. I couldn't find a sitter." Evelyn just blinked, momentarily disarmed by the sight. "As long as she doesn't break anything else," she murmured. The little girl, Maddie, grinned. "I help Daddy fix things. Mostly I hand him the wrong wrench." For the first time all day, Evelyn laughed. While Daniel crouched under the sink, his sleeves rolled up, water dripping onto his arms, Evelyn couldn't help watching him. There was something peaceful about the way he worked, methodical, calm, unbothered by the mess. The complete opposite of her world, where every decision was a crisis and every smile was strategic. When he finished, she handed him a towel. "Thank you. You probably saved my kitchen." "Just doing my job," he replied with a shy smile. "Though next time, maybe turn off the main valve first." She chuckled, a little embarrassed. "Noted." Then, as if the universe had planned it, her assistant rushed in, panicked. "Evelyn! Every potential date for the gala cancelled. Everyone's out of town, and the press already knows you'll be bringing someone." Daniel froze mid-motion, awkwardly holding his toolbox. Evelyn's eyes darted between him and her assistant. And then, before she could overthink it, she blurted, "What about him?" Daniel blinked. "Me? You're single, right?" He hesitated. "Widowed, actually." "I'm sorry," she said softly. "But, would you be willing to help me out? Just for one evening?" He looked unsure. "I fix sinks, Ms. Hart. I don't do galas." "Then consider it another kind of fix," she said with a smile. That night, Evelyn sent over a suit and a driver. When Daniel arrived at the gala, even the photographers paused. He wasn't polished, but there was something raw and real about him, something that drew every camera his way. Evelyn, dressed in a deep blue gown that shimmered under the chandeliers, slipped her arm through his and whispered, "Just smile and don't trip." "I make no promises," he whispered back. The evening unfolded better than she expected. Daniel was charming without trying. He made the investors laugh, spoke warmly about his daughter when asked, and treated Evelyn like she wasn't a CEO, but a person. For once, she didn't feel like she had to impress anyone. But things took a turn when her ex-fiancé, Adrian Clark, approached. He smirked, swirling his champagne. "Quite a downgrade from last year, Evie." "A plumber?" Daniel's jaw tightened, but before he could speak, Evelyn stepped closer. "Actually, Adrian, he's a single father who's raising his daughter while running his own business." "Remind me, what was the last thing you fixed?" The room went quiet. Adrian's smirk faded. Daniel's eyes met hers, grateful, proud. After the gala, they stood on the balcony overlooking the city. "Thank you," Evelyn said. "For tonight." "For being real." Daniel chuckled softly. "You make that sound like a rare thing." "It is," she admitted. "In my world, everything's a performance. But tonight, I felt like myself again." He looked at her, really looked at her. "Then maybe you need less of that world and more of this." "This being leaky sinks and mismatched socks," she teased. "Exactly." They laughed, but there was something deeper in their silence. Something unspoken, hope, maybe. Weeks passed. Evelyn found excuses to call him another faucet, a broken light, a mysterious rattle in the dishwasher. Maddie started drawing her pictures, and soon Evelyn's fridge looked more like a child's art gallery than a CEO's kitchen. One night, as Daniel was packing up his tools, he said quietly, "You know, I think I fixed everything that was broken in this apartment." Evelyn smiled. "Not everything." Their eyes met. This time, there were no cameras, no suits, no expectations, just two people who'd both been lonely in their own ways, finally finding someone who saw them. He took her hand. "So what's next, Miss CEO?" "Dinner," she said softly. "But no tux this time." Months later, Evelyn attended another gala, this time not with a fake date, but with her real partner, her heart. Daniel stood proudly beside her, Maddie spinning happily in her tiny dress, stealing every spotlight in the room. When reporters asked Evelyn what changed in her life, she smiled and said, "I used to think success meant building empires. Now I know it means building a home." If you felt that, if it made you smile or believe a little more in second chances, hit that like button, share this story, and subscribe for more heart-touching stories every week.